So in the overnight session, buyers were active at the 5,033 to 43 support that we discussed in yesterday's live recap. And then on the upside, we got to move into the 5,057.5 to 66.5 pre-market resistance, where sellers were active on first test. Now, heading into the open, our short-term bias will continue to be neutral, and our intermediate-term bias will continue to be bearish, which means that on the day time frame, we need to continue to be quite flexible and be very aware of the real-time intraday bias and be open to the market moving in either direction. But on the larger time frame, sellers can still step in. So anytime the market gets exhausted or overdone into a better area of resistance, especially something like 51.17 to 27, sellers are very likely to step back in. Looking at the econ calendar, we have a couple of reports out this morning, and then we have Tesla reporting earnings after the close, and that in itself is a bit of a catalyst. So it'll be helpful to keep an eye on the NASDAQ this morning, because if NQ fails to put in a sustainable breakout above yesterday's high and above the 17,550 to 620 area, then that could limit the upside in the S&P as well. In ES, we have the initial support zone at 5,033 to 43. Holding above that area leaves yesterday's intraday balance breakout in play. So if the market is going to attempt to head higher, buyers need to hold ES above initial support. Above that, we have the aggressive support zone at 5,047.5 to 52, and holding above that zone would be a sign of stability, while a break below it would be an early sign of intraday weakness. And then on the upside, we have the pre-market resistance zone at 5,057.5 to 66.5. A break and hold above that zone would be an intraday bullish indication. And then we have the initial resistance zone at 5,071.75 to 81.75, which is the intraday bias confirming zone. And we'll need to see a successful breakout above initial resistance on broad market strength and sustained upside momentum, with the NASDAQ also heading higher, in order to get an intraday bullish confirmation, and that can then lead to a test of 5,087.5 to 88.5, as well as 5,093.5 to 51.03.5, with potential to head higher into 51.07 to 13, and possibly 51.17 to 27. Now, the higher the market pushes, the better the resistance it will run into, and higher the odds of sellers stepping in. Also note that so far ES has been running on below average volume, which can result in a below average range. So if ES continues to run on relatively light volume, then sellers can be active at 5,093.5 to 51.03.5, and ES may struggle to even get beyond that zone. But the higher ES pushes, the better the resistance it will run into, and higher the odds that sellers will step in, and the 51.17 to 27 is a significant area of resistance, and that's also where the market would begin to exhaust the range potential.